There is a certain kind of kind that leaves you empty. On the outside, you look like the gentle one, the understanding one, the generous soul who always knows what to say. People describe you as soft-hearted, patient, endlessly forgiving. But if we pressed pause on the scene and stepped inside your body, we would find something very different. We would find a tight jaw, a clenched stomach, a nervous system that never truly rests. You apologize when you have done nothing wrong. You rush to smooth over tension that you did not create. You say it's okay, while every cell in your body whispers, no, it isn't. This is not just kindness. This is the fawn response. Tonight, I want to speak to the part of you that believes being good means being small. The part of you that learned long ago that the safest way to survive was to disappear into other people's needs. In trauma psychology, we call it fawning. In Jungian language, it is the good child complex wrapped around a terrified inner child and an exiled shadow. And if you are an empath with complex trauma, there is a painful truth you are waking up to now. You have been mistaking your survival strategy for virtue. Somewhere in your story, you did not just learn to be kind. You were trained to abandon yourself. Maybe it began in childhood. The room changed when a certain person walked in. You could feel it before they spoke, the way the air grew heavy, the way everyone adjusted their tone, their posture, their breathing. You became an expert in reading faces, scanning moods, anticipating explosions. Not because you were born a saint, but because your safety depended on it. You learned that anger in others was dangerous, but anger in you was forbidden. You learned that needs made you selfish, that saying no made you ungrateful, that disagreeing made you the problem. So your nervous system did something brilliant and heartbreaking at the same time. It chose fawn. Fight was too risky. Flight was impossible. Freeze only made you more of a target. So your body chose the fourth option, appease. Smile, comply, soften your voice. Make yourself useful. Make yourself indispensable. Make yourself so kind that no one will want to hurt you. This is the fawn response. Your whole being bending toward whatever keeps the peace. On the outside, it looks like generosity. On the inside, it feels like erasure. Carl Jung once suggested that much of what we call fate is simply the life we have not yet learned to live consciously. The fawn response is like that. It feels automatic, inevitable, like just who I am, but beneath it lies a forgotten self, a person you never got to be because you were too busy keeping everyone else stable. And when this pattern meets complex PTSD, it burrows deep into your identity. Complex trauma is not one event. It is an atmosphere. Growing up in a narcissistic, chaotic, or emotionally unsafe environment trains your nervous system to live in permanent negotiation. You become a diplomat in your own home, a peacekeeper in a war you did not start. Your body remembers every slammed door, every silent treatment, every unpredictable mood swing. Over time, your empathy becomes fused with fear. You don't just notice how people feel, you monitor it, manage it, organize your entire behavior around it. You praise too quickly. You underestimate your own pain. You preemptively forgive people for wounds they haven't even inflicted yet. You confuse, I understand why they did that, with it's okay that they did. This is the quiet tragedy of the empath with CPTSD. You call it compassion. Your nervous system calls it survival. In Jungian terms, the persona, the social mask, takes over. You become the kind one, the healer, the understanding friend, and everyone rewards you for it. They come to you when they are broken, when they need to vent, when they need to be absolved. They leave lighter. You are left carrying what they could not. Meanwhile, your shadow thickens with everything you had to repress. Anger, grief, disgust, resentment, the simple human desire to be considered too. The more you identify with the persona of kindness, the more dangerous your own boundaries feel. Saying no feels violent. Asking for reciprocity feels like an attack. Disappointing someone feels like a crime. So you keep performing the role that keeps you chosen, even as it slowly empties you out. This is how the fawn response hides inside a spiritual costume. You say, I just want everyone to be happy. You say, I'm not an angry person. You say, I don't like conflict. I prefer peace. But notice what your body says when you are alone after yet another conversation where you swallowed your truth. Notice the headache, the tight chest, the exhaustion that feels like you ran a marathon while sitting on a chair. Your body is not congratulating you for being kind. It is grieving every time you betrayed yourself. CPTSD lives in these micro-abandonments. The flashbacks are not always dramatic. Sometimes they are just tiny surges of panic when someone seems disappointed in you. A sinking feeling when a text goes unanswered. A rush to over-explain when you sense even the slightest misunderstanding. Your system is not reacting to the present alone. It is reacting to the old threat. If they are upset, I am not safe. And so you apologize for existing before anyone has even accused you. But here is the turning point. The moment you begin to see that not all kindness is healthy. There is kindness that flows from a grounded self. And there is kindness that leaks out of a frightened, nervous system desperate not to be abandoned. One expands you. The other dissolves you. How do you tell the difference? Start with this simple question. Do I feel more like myself or less like myself after I say yes? If you feel calmer, clearer, more aligned, that yes may be rooted in genuine empathy. But if you feel smaller, resentful, drained, or vaguely dishonest, that yes may be a fawn response wearing a halo. Jung spoke often of the danger of one-sidedness, the psyche being completely overtaken by one way of being. For many empaths with trauma, that one-sidedness is, I must be good at all costs. The cost, of course, is you. Your shadow holds everything that does not fit this image of goodness. It holds your rage at being used, your grief over what you never received, your envy of people who set boundaries without shaking. To heal the fawn response, you're not trying to get rid of kindness. You're trying to reunite it with power. That means letting some of that shadow back into the room. It means admitting, even if only in your journal at first, I am tired of being the one who always understands. I am angry that my needs were never considered. I'm scared that if I stop being useful, no one will love me. These confessions are not proof that you're selfish. They are proof that you're finally telling the truth. From a CPTSD perspective, your nervous system needs new experiences of safety. Not safety built on compliance, but safety built on authenticity. The first time you say a small no, your body might shake as if you are in mortal danger. That is an old map speaking. In that old map, saying no meant punishment, withdrawal, shaming, or violence. But now, you are not that trapped child. You may still feel like them, but you have more choices than they did. You can hang up the phone. You can end the conversation. You can step outside. You can seek support. You can walk away. Each time you act differently, your body learns a new lesson. I can survive my own truth. This is where Jung's idea of individuation becomes real. Individuation is not an abstract spiritual journey. It is the daily work of becoming someone you can trust. For the fawning empath, that means no longer sacrificing your soul on the altar of being liked. It means becoming a person whose kindness is rooted in choice, not compulsion. You begin to ask new questions before you say yes. Do I actually want to do this? Is this mine to carry? Am I crossing my own boundary to keep this connection alive? Sometimes the honest answer will be no, and people will not like it. Some will call you cold. Some will accuse you of changing. Some will punish you with silence or guilt when you refuse to play the old role. This is the moment the fawn response usually tries to drag you back. Just go back to normal. Just apologize. Just fix it. But there is no true healing without this friction. In those moments, your body is standing at a crossroads between the past and the present. One path is familiar, self-abandonment dressed up as harmony. The other is unfamiliar, short-term discomfort in the service of long-term self-respect. Your nervous system will scream for the old path. That does not mean you are wrong. It means you are rewiring. This is where compassion for yourself has to become fierce. Remember, you developed the fawn response because you were intelligent, sensitive, and adaptive. You found a way to survive in an environment that did not know how to love you without conditions. There's nothing weak about that. The weakness would be refusing to grow now that you finally see the pattern. You are allowed to keep your empathy and drop your obedience. You are allowed to be kind and still say no. You are allowed to understand someone's trauma and still protect yourself from their behavior. You are allowed to walk away from people who only loved you when you were easy to control. In fact, your healing depends on it. As you begin to integrate your shadow, your anger, your no, your right to take up space, your empathy changes texture. It is no longer a sponge that absorbs everything. It becomes a clear mirror. You can sense other people's pain without confusing it with your job. You can feel their disappointment without collapsing into shame. This is empathy with boundaries. The medicine the world desperately needs and the narcissistic personality secretly fears. Because the moment an empath stops fawning, the power dynamic collapses. Emotional bullies lose their favorite supply. Narcissistic relatives lose their most loyal defender. Friends who only called when they needed rescuing discover that the rescue phone line is closed. They may react with anger, confusion, or blame. Let them. You are not responsible for their inability to meet you on equal ground. You are responsible for the care of your own soul. In time, something beautiful begins to happen. The more you release relationships that depended on your self-erasure, the more space you create for something different. Connections built on mutuality, respect, and truth. People who like you quiet will fall away. People who can sit with your full humanity will remain or arrive. Your body will notice the difference. Around these people, your shoulders drop. Your breath deepens. You do not feel that subtle pressure to perform kindness. You can be messy, uncertain, even mildly unlikable, and the connection still holds. This is the opposite of the fawn response. This is earned safety. And here, your sensitivity finally becomes what it was always meant to be, a gift, not a leash. You still feel deeply, but now you feel from a center that belongs to you. You still care, but your care no longer requires your disappearance. You still love, but you no longer confuse love with self-sacrifice. This is the empath after trauma. Not less kind, but more whole. From a Jungian perspective, every fawn response is also a story about power that has been pushed into the unconscious. Somewhere inside you lives an archetype that is not the slave, but the sovereign. Not the child begging for approval, but the inner adult who can hold both love and limit at the same time. CPTSD can make that inner sovereign feel very far away. Trauma shrinks your world down to one question: how do I stay safe? Healing widens it again. How do I stay true? At first, truth feels more dangerous than danger itself. Saying, "that hurt me," feels more terrifying than being hurt. Naming manipulation feels scarier than enduring it. But this is the alchemy of recovery, the slow transformation of fear into inner authority. You will not do this perfectly. There will be days when you fall back into over-explaining, over-giving, over-apologizing. There will be moments when you hear yourself pleasing someone and only recognize it hours later. That does not mean you have failed. It means your awareness is growing. Once upon a time, you didn't notice at all. Now you notice afterwards. One day, you will notice during. Eventually, you will notice before. This is how patterns dissolve. Not in one dramatic breakthrough, but in thousands of tiny acts of noticing. And as you notice, you may begin to experiment with a new kind of kindness. A kindness that tells the truth. A kindness that says, "I care about you, and I also care about me." A kindness that can sit in someone else's disappointment without rushing to rescue them from it. A kindness that sometimes sounds like, "No, not today," or "that doesn't work for me." To a nervous system shaped by CPTSD, this will feel cruel at first. But to your deeper self, it will feel like oxygen. Slowly, your body will start to recognize the difference between danger and disapproval. Your heart will beat faster when a boundary is crossed, not when you simply imagine someone is upset. Your intuition will shift from scanning the room for threats to scanning your own interior for truth. You become, in Jung's words, less of a puppet of your complexes and more of a person with a center. And in that centered place, something almost miraculous appears. Choice. The choice to pause. The choice to leave. The choice to stay and speak. The choice to let someone misunderstand you and still know who you are at last. If any of this resonates with you, it is not an accusation. It is an invitation. An invitation to stop calling your self-abandonment kindness. An invitation to listen to the quiet anger in your body, not as a flaw, but as a boundary trying to be born. An invitation to begin relating to yourself the way you have always related to others, with patience, with compassion, with fierce loyalty. You are not here to be the offering on someone else's altar. You are here to be a conscious, living soul capable of love that includes yourself. Your fawn response kept you alive. Your truth will help you finally live.